has to go through a couple of details on this build actually, specifically with the steering and the rear axle. Now, steering really is a linkage system, and we have to weld up some bits of metal in order to make a link. So let's do that. So if you have a quick look here, you can see I've already welded an angle onto the top of the forks right there. That piece we've just made, which is that bit here, gets welded on there like that. Let me shift my hand. There we go. So it gets welded on there like that, and we have two of them making an L-shaped bracket with a little projection there. And we need one of those on each fork, obviously facing inward to each other, toward each other. So now let's weld that on. So once I've welded that bit on, I weld an extension bar here. Now this Z shape is just because of me. I mean, I need this steering to miss my knees, and there's not a lot of room in the cabin, so I put a Z shape in. You might just put a straight bar in if you want. It just depends what shape you've got in order to create these linkages. But it's not really complicated. This is just a straight bar linkage with a dog leg in it, particularly at my knees. Now I need to connect that to this, and to do that you can use a bar, a rod, or a con rod, or something like that. But you do need a little bit of adjustability here, because these two wheels have to line up, and it's handy to have something you can adjust, and I'm going to use these. These are turnbuckles. They nicely fit on the 8mm, so I can put a nut on there, we get a swivel joint, and if I twist that, then I can adjust the position of that wheel in relation to the other wheel to get them nice and straight. Okay, so here's the handlebars. At the bottom I've got a short T-piece with two bolts sticking out of it, and I need to connect that rod to that T-piece with my turnbuckle. So if I do that like that, there we go. Then when I turn the handlebar, it pushes and pulls on the turnbuckle and turns the wheel. Now if I have it like that, you can see the handlebar is slightly off centre while the wheel is straight, and I can adjust that turnbuckle so that the handlebars are straight and the wheel is straight. And I can do exactly the same to the other side. And that's the final steering put together. Okay, and that's the steering put together. Now, before all the engineers start telling me all about Ackermann steering, bell crank, rack and pinion, you've got to bear in mind what it is we've got here and what it is I'm doing. So, it's true, the tyres on this will wear out a little bit more, it'll be a little bit more sluggish in steering, but this is basically a go-kart. I mean, it's not going to go more than about 10 or 15 miles an hour if I'm lucky. I'm going to be using it for running up to Asda, so there's no way it's doing thousands of miles. So what I've done is, I think, appropriate. I mean, it's pretty simple. Like I say, it's little more than what you put on a soapbox derby cart, but it'll do the job just fine for what I want to do, and it's not very complicated. It's just a push rod linkage system that works kind of okay, actually. It'll be kind of cool for what we want to do with it. There are more complicated steering systems, there are better steering systems, but this is an appropriate, I think, steering system. Okay, this back axle and rear drive is obviously something to have us think about, and like everything, there's always choices you can make. So for example, it comes with a cog and freewheel, so we could just go straight on here and drive one wheel at the back. Or we could put an axle between the two, put some bearings on it, a central cog, and drive that. Now a bicycle normally, like this, has a 10mm spindle on it. A 10mm spindle is plenty for adult weight as long as it's fixed in 2 points. If you want to fix it in 1 point, you need to go up to about a 12mm axle. So somewhere between 12 and 14mm is the axle that I want to do one straight through axle. Now obviously I need to fix the wheels to that axle, and I need to give that axle some bearings, and I need to give it a chain drive so I can put something on it and get that thing to spin. So those are my problems. The first thing to do obviously is disassemble the wheel. This thing you're going to need a remover for, but the rest of it just unbolts and you get your bare wheel, and it's got a 12mm hole right down the centre there, because you can change these out if you want to make them off-road. Usually put a thicker axle in there. This is the rear axle that I came up with. Now, 2 sections of pipe here and here, and there's a bearing in either side of those sections of pipe. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bearings at 4 points of contact. Some 12mm bar going through, which has been threaded at the end, and then I welded on a little flange there. Now this is the chain set from the original bike. So if I fix that and turn that, you can see it turns my axle. So the chain will go there. Now it's a good point here to actually put a brake disc on, and you would put that, I don't know, somewhere around about there. I'm not going to bother because we're going to use the existing brakes, but now the wheel just goes on here and we can fasten that down and we have our rear axle. So with the wheels on, and if I fasten this pipe to the frame and give it a spin, and those pipes are fastened, then as you can see the chainset and wheels all turn nicely. So that's how we attach it to the frame, by these two sections here. So I hope that made those bits a bit clearer. Obviously what we need to do now is fix our axle, the steering's all done, and then we can attach the motor, put some batteries on there, and we're away. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.